Taylor Swift's motorcade arrives at Arrowhead Stadium to cheer on the Chiefs vs. New Orleans Saints game. On Monday, October 7th, Taylor Swift's motorcade was seen pulling into the entrance of Arrowhead Stadium. Swift's motorcade consisted of 2 black SUVs and was surrounded by security vehicles. Taylor Swift will be cheering on her boyfriend Travis Kelce's first game as he turns 35 at the Chiefs vs. Saints game at Arrowhead Stadium. The pop star's appearance seemed to have captured the attention of fans. Outside Arrowhead Stadium, golf carts were already lined up to pick up Taylor Swift. Earlier on Saturday at Travis Kelce's 35th birthday, he confirmed Swift's appearance at the game today. Many fans thought, "She finally showed up," as Kelce said, "She will not be here today. But I know she's coming in for the game," Kelce said at his second annual Kelce Car Jam charity event in Kansas City, Missouri. Another said, "Cool, I knew this since Kelce himself said it on his big day. This is considered Travis Kelce's first game since he turned 35. Hopefully he will be confident and win in his new age." The Chiefs and Saints have not met in the regular season since 2020. In preseason, they met in 2023 in a game that ended 26-24 in favor of New Orleans. Overall, they have met 12 times in the regular season and postseason, with Kansas City leading with 7 wins and 5 losses. On average, 47.3 points are scored each time the Chiefs and Saints play, so a thrilling game is expected. Kansas City's victims in these first 4 weeks of the season are Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, and Chargers. The game against Cincinnati was one of the best of the campaign so far, as it came down to the last play, with a final score of 26-25. Meanwhile, the Saints have a record of 2 wins and 2 losses. In Week 1 they crushed the Panthers and, in the following week, Dallas suffered in the same way as they were defeated 44-19. But the magic went out when the Saints lost to the Eagles and then the Atlanta Falcons. This could be Willie Gay Jr.'s reunion with the Chiefs. The linebacker played for Kansas City between 2020 and 2023 and is now part of the Saints roster. The problem is that Willie was injured in the first quarter of the game against the Falcons last week, so he is doubtful to face his former team. The Kansas City Chiefs will host the New Orleans Saints at Gayha Field at Arrowhead Stadium for Monday Night Football. In Kansas City, they've lost receivers Marquise Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice to major injuries and both are on IR. They have won 4 straight one-score games to open the season, mostly thanks to a solid defense. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes' leading target is gone, which means he needs to re-establish his connection with All-Pro tight end Travis Kelce. Rookie receiver Xavier Worthy has made a few plays this season, but has only caught 9 passes through 3 games. Justin Watson has caught 6. The most experienced receiver outside of Kelce is Juju Smith-Schuster, who the Chiefs signed just before the season started. But this season, he has caught just 2 passes. As a group, the starting receivers and tight end have a total of 32 passes all year. The Chiefs could have to depend on the magic of Mahomes to keep them in games. Defensively, the Chiefs are tough. They have held opposing offenses to 20 or fewer points in 3 of their first 4 games. They will be challenged by the high-flying attack of the Saints with Derek Carr, Chris Olave, and Rashid Shaheed. Their running game, with a rejuvenated Alvin Kamara, has been prolific this season as well. If the Saints' Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson can get to Mahomes, it could force him into mistakes with guys like Tyrann Mathieu and Marshawn Lattimore roaming the secondary. The Kansas City Chiefs posted a quote from Travis Kelce's speech after the team won the Super Bowl earlier this year to honor their tight end, who was celebrating his 35th birthday on Saturday. Kelce was one of the central figures of February's extravaganza due to his relationship with Taylor Swift. The 3-time Super Bowl champion has also never been shy about sharing his opinions, with this particular one said on stage at Allegiant Stadium becoming iconic. "No need to fight for your right to party today. HBD, at Killatrav," the Chiefs said on Instagram. The quote from Kelce itself is a shout-out to the Beastie Boys song "Fight for Your Right," with the tight end screaming it into the microphone. Swift has attended 15 Chiefs games since her relationship with Kelce began last September, with Kansas City holding a 12-3 record in those contests. That includes a 2-0 mark this season. Swift could be in attendance for Monday's game against the Saints, with Travis' older brother, Jason Kelce, on the call for ESPN for the first time since retiring from football himself. The Kansas City Chiefs offense has yet to find its footing this season, and the play of quarterback Mahomes is one of the main reasons why. In an uncharacteristic start to the year, the NFL's best player isn't performing like it. 4 games into the 2024-25 campaign, Mahomes has completed just under 69% of his passes, a career-high mark, but tossed 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He's turning the ball over at a high rate, also struggling to push the ball down the field with consistency despite having the desire to do so. Last weekend's win over the Los Angeles Chargers saw the best and worst of Mahomes, as he uncorked a 54-yard touchdown to Xavier Worthy but also got picked off. What's the secret to getting Mahomes back on track? Offensive coordinator Matt Nagy explains that so many aspects go into a play that maintaining mental composure is paramount, staying calm and going back the basics, Nagy said. We've had a lot of great things happen in this offense because of him. There's a lot of things that happen within one play, whether it's a protection, whether it's a throw or whether it's a wrong route that happens on an interception. So, just understanding that part of it and then resetting and using that next play mentality. There's no one better than him because he's so competitive and he wants to be great, so he puts a lot of pressure on himself in a good way. It's a healthy pressure because he wants to do great, so we just want to make sure that we balance that, keep it contained and then go out there and cut it loose. That calmness is a good call by Nagy, especially given Mahomes' pocket presence thus far. On plenty of occasions, the 2-time NFL MVP has bailed from a clean pocket or maneuvered his way directly into pressure. Thanks to the Chiefs' left tackle plan not going accordingly to open 2024, he also might not be totally comfortable with that just yet. Add in the injuries to wideouts Rashee Rice and Marquise Hollywood Brown, and you get a formula that isn't perfectly conducive to quarterback play. Still, though, the football world has seen Mahomes work through many skids before. He's too good to let some external factors slow him down. Heck, even a season ago he didn't play his best, but the reason could be tied, and was tied, by many, directly to a lack of receiver talent. Until Rice comes back, and if Rice comes back, is it reasonable to expect him to play his way out of a more prolonged slump? Monday night's game against the New Orleans Saints will be a big-time test. If Mahomes shows out under the bright lights, perhaps he's en route to finding his way and helping Kansas City maintain a perfect record. They went into Week 4 with an underperforming offense, except for receiver Rashee Rice, who was perhaps the NFL's biggest breakout star this year. And the Chiefs came out of Week 4 with Rice having suffered what is expected to be an ACL injury. The Chiefs might be 4-0, but they have a surprising amount of offensive uncertainty for the rest of the season. Free agent acquisition Hollywood Brown might not return this year from a shoulder injury. Running back Isaiah Pacheco is on injured reserve with a cracked fibula and is likely to miss about 8 weeks. Travis Kelce showed up on Sunday, but he has been mostly unproductive this season. So let's get Mahomes some support. His receiving core isn't what it needs to be, especially if the Chiefs want to three-peat. There should be some trade targets on the open market. And while everyone's mind goes to Davante Adams. I'm not sure he's a realistic option. The Chiefs have $4.9 million in cap space this year, 8th lowest in the league, and $27 million next year, 9th lowest. Mahomes' contract is nearly maxed out in terms of restructuring, so it's not like GM Brett Veach can snap a finger on the QB's deal and free up a large sum of money. The Chiefs can definitely acquire a receiver before the November 4th trade deadline. But if they want an expensive one, they'll have to give up extra assets to get the Raiders to pay Adams' salary. Otherwise, the Chiefs will have to get a player whose salary fits their short-term and long-term goals. Keep in mind, too, that veteran receivers Michael Thomas and Hunter Renfrow are currently free agents. The 30-year-old had a successful stint with the Chiefs as a depth option from 2017 to 2021. While he has never had more than 500 yards in a season, Robinson has proven he understands the Kansas City offense, which is not a given for wideouts. Coach Andy Reid hasn't had much success acclimating new pass catchers to his offense midseason, so Robinson, a familiar face, would bring a track record of proven production.